you break even and move forward, then the growth can be spectacular. There is no doubt about that. And I heard some Steve Jobs and Bill Gates when I was asking about business. I would expect that each of you here would be a potential Bill Gates or a Steve Jobs. When I set up entrepreneurship, that's how I looked at it. I used to read the Economic Times very regularly, and as and when, at that time, I think we didn't have Bill Gates, but the person most in the news was Mr. Ambani, Senior, Anil's and Mukesh's father, and Dhirubhai Ambani. And we used to read about him, how he started from humble beginnings, and he knew only about selling the plastic granules which he used to get, and that's what he started his business with, till he became a force to reckon. And in our business school discussions and presentation and training programs, there were many, many case studies about how people had come, and we used to observe. And when I was my first stint as a banker, when I was there, one of the areas I got trained in was as a turnaround specialist, which means to look at small businesses which were not doing well and to see what kind of strategies we needed to implement. These were single person operations or two partner operations, which were not very large companies. Identify what were the problems and see how we could turn around the companies to make sure that they made a profit. And my work there was so challenging. And each time we would get an assignment in a different field. Once it was in plastics, once it was iron and steel, once it was in ferrites, once in food. And as a consultant, the challenge was for me to learn about that particular industry in the shortest time, to bring in strategies which would revive it and keep it on the path of healthy growth and make sure that it sustained its growth. This was very, very challenging. And when we did it, and I used to read about this and all about the workshops, and I said, well, it seems that any industry can be turned around with the right ingredients, if it has the right ingredients, which constitutes the person, the entrepreneur bringing his qualities to the table, and a combination of the environmental factors. The entrepreneur himself must be able to bring in the right qualities. If he's consistently making wrong decisions on finance or on any HR areas, then that is going to impact the business, or on marketing areas. So the entrepreneur himself is as important as the factors around which constitute the business. And the combination of this can be worked together to make sure that you have successful businesses. So this understanding came to me, and I said, well, then entrepreneurs can be trained. And that was when, 20 years ago, when the first Entrepreneurship Development Training Institute came. Because till then, the belief system was that entrepreneurs came from entrepreneur families, or, the qualities of entrepreneurship was not trained, and a new person with no business background, it would be very difficult to make. Just having money was not enough to invest and have the money for the business. So these were some of the belief systems then, which have been methodically demolished over the last 20 years. Today, we do know that an entrepreneur can be created, can be born, everybody has dreams. And if we go about it in a systematic manner, they are capable of making successful businesses. So, I think about 100, 150 people are here. How many? Umesh is not. Well, whatever number. Let's look at the economics of it. Okay? You were talking about Bill Gates and Steve. Let's not go to that level. If you do a turnover of 1 crore, assuming that the lowest return which you get in the bank is 10 lakhs, right? So each of you do a crorepati turnover, you become a lakpati. So how many lakpatis here and how many lakpatis contributing to our economy?